Hey everybody, it's me Stacey here at Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Hello everybody! Welcome to today's Saturday with Stacey YouTube class number 608, and it is going to be oh so much fun. Now, if you've never joined us before, hey, I'm Stacey. I'm the owner of Scrapbooking Made Simple. We are a small mom and pop independent retailer here in Canyon Country, California, Southern California. I have 4 videos a week on YouTube, and we teach and we hopefully bring you product you've never seen before. It's a whole lot of fun, but Saturday mornings are our full-length, commercial-free, technique-based class. Totally commercial-free. I figure if I don't want to see the commercials, you don't want to see the commercials. So we don't let them drop commercials into my classes. Sometimes there might be one before, sometimes there might be one after, but nothing during. So we have a live chat going on during the premiere of my class, which on Saturday mornings is 8 a.m. sunny California time, 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern, and 4 p.m. in the United Kingdom. So if you're joining us during that time on a Saturday, hey, live chat going on this way if you're on a desktop or a laptop, and if you're on a different device like a phone or a tablet, the live chat might be below us. There's usually several hundred people online on the live chat, so all you have to do is tell us who you are and where you're from, and somebody's gonna say hello to you. I do 4 classes a week on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. My classes are here on the Scrapbooking Made Simple YouTube channel at 6 p.m. sunny California time. That would be 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. But Saturday, it's all about Saturday mornings. It's kind of like when you were a kid and you woke up early Saturday morning to go watch the cartoons. Well, that's how I feel about my Saturday with Stacey classes. These are my cartoons to watch. This is my time to be with you and spend with you and create and craft and teach and show and share. So today it is a full class. I have got some fabulous things to show you. I have got product that you may not have ever seen before because I had never seen it before. I've got Crafter's Companion back in the house. It's just gonna be a super fun class. But of course, before we get started, we have to do winner chicken dinner. And these are 2, I think it's 2 ladies who have won a $100 gift card to Scrapbooking Made Simple. Congratulations. You're like, oh my gosh, how did they win $100? They liked the video and they posted a comment below. It's that simple. Like the video, post the comment below, because there is a comment section. Live chat comments, they don't count. You gotta post a comment below, and then you go into the running to be a winner chicken dinner. We're pretty much plateaued at $100 per week, because the more likes I get, the more money we give away. Well, that's a happy day, right? But nothing wrong with $100 either. I think anybody would be thrilled to find that they had $100 online credit to their posted in their account so they could go shopping for whatever makes their heart happy. Now, these 2 ladies, they posted a comment in last week's class, 607, and they liked the video, and now they've got $100. So do you want to know if you are Carol Gogan? Hello, Carol Gogan, is that you? Because if it is, you are a winner chicken dinner. Congratulations, well done you. I know, so exciting, huh, Carol? Are you like, ah? I would be, ah. I remember I won $100 on a scratcher card, and I'm telling you, the people in the store thought I had won $1 million. It was $100, but to me, $100, hello. So Carol Gogan, you're our first winner. Our second winner is, and I don't think there's gonna be too many of these out there, is it Bliss? Bliss Capel? Is that you? Did I say it right, Bliss? Is that right? Congratulations to you. You also are a winner chicken dinner. No, we're not ready to dance yet. But maybe you're taking a screenshot right now and texting it to your friends, and maybe Carol is calling her spouse, her fur babies, her kids, her grandkids, whoever's in the house that she can say, look at, she's showing my name. I did. I showed both of your names because you liked the video and you posted a comment below. And our random software selects 2 people every single week, and you never know when it's going to be your turn. What I can tell you is if you don't like the video and you don't post the comment below, you'll never win. Just that simple. So now we have to do our winner chicken dinner dance for Bliss and for Carol. Are you ready? Sit up straight. Got to sit up straight because, you know, you got to have good posture, right? And then we get down with the groove. So you sit up straight only to get down. All right, you guys, you're a winner. Chicken dinner. You're a winner. Chicken dinner. Wahoo. Ka-choo for you. Congratulations to the both of you. You don't have to do anything to claim your prize. It is already in your online account. You have $100 to spend any way that makes your heart happy. Maybe that's on the warehouse sale, which is going on right now. The Scrapbooking Made Simple June 2025 warehouse sale, where 50, 60, 70, 80, 90% off your favorite manufacturers for the entire month of June. Maybe that's where you spend it. Maybe you pick up some of the stuff I have for you today. Maybe you need cardstock. Don't. Buy something wonderful. But if you need cardstock and adhesive, we get that too. The thing is, you both have $100 to spend. So congratulations, and we're ever so happy for you. Now today I have got Crafter's Companion. I've got cut and emboss folders, 4 of them. I'm going to tell you that these are limited, and when they're gone, they're gone. There will be no more ever. They're a one and done, and we only were able to bring in a certain amount because they only manufactured a certain amount. So I know that they're not widely available, beautiful as they are. So I've got 4 cut and emboss folders for you, but the way they manufactured them is different than what you would normally think of as a cut and emboss folder. And then I have this special ink for you. It's only 2 colors, but it's pretty rock star, I'm telling you. And I think that's where I'm going to start. I have to also say it's limited. I know everything's limited right now, right? It's just like crazy. But this product is from Yasutomo, and once it sells out, it will not be back in stock until October. So I bought as much as we possibly could, and when it sells out, it will not be back in stock until October. So I'm going to start with the ink because I think that that's a very good place to start, and then we'll move into we'll do the inks with the emboss. We'll do this new ink with the embossing folders. We'll do some of my inks with the embossing folder. It'll be technique after technique after technique. So every time I change an embossing folder to a different embossing folder, there'll be a new technique to show you. It's gonna be a great class. I know it. I feel it. I'm excited about it. Are you? Wahoo ka-choo. All right, I'm gonna tilt down. I'm gonna get started for today. I'm Stacey. This is Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. And thanks so much for being here today. I really appreciate it. All right, down we go. I'm going to show you some quick samples, and then we're going to get started. So I've got a whole mess of samples. Oh, there's my Mickey shirt. I've got a whole mess of samples for you at the end, but I want to show you a few quick samples. And my Mickey shirt is all blinged out. Okay, so look at this. Now, I don't know if my camera can pick it up, but that ink is not black. That ink has got a sheen and shine to it. So there's one. Look at this. Another embossing folder from Crafter's Companion, a cut and emboss folder. And then look at this. Another. So there's actually 4 in total. So we have 4 of them, and they are available open stock. I feel like this is just not quite in the right place. We do have 4 of them, and they are open stock, but the best value is going to be in the bundle. Now, before I get to these, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about this ink. So this ink is from Yasutomo. It is traditional Chinese ink. I don't know exactly what that means, except for what's in these bottles are spectacular. It comes in a silver black and a golden black. It works on gassen paper, rice paper, regular paper, and I'm going to be using this ink again next week. Even if we sell out of it, I'm going to use it again next week because I want to show you a different technique with it. I love this ink. Now, what does it do? Well, let me show you the bottles. First off, I love the bottles. I love that they have, and there's a lot in here. One of these is going to last you probably the rest of your life. There's a little marble. There, now you can hear it. Little marble in there, and it's got this little cap here that you use to put on and take off when you're gonna pour it, and then you put your cap back on and seal it up. I wish they had done this for a Sumi ink. That would have been wonderful. And while they're both black, they have this element of metallic in them that is stunning. You may paint with it. You can use blending. I'm going to be using daubers with it. Paint brushes, watercolor brushes. It is magnificent. Now, you got to give it a good shake. But there's no spray or anything to get clogged. It does not clog. And I'm going to bring over some paper. And we're going to play a little bit just so you see what it looks like. Now I've got my little palette here, and does it clean up with water? Yes. So mine's dried in there, but if I had cleaned it up with water right away, oh, you can even see the beautiful gold in the bottom of this. It's so gorgeous. And for me, for today's class, I put a little S and a little G for gold and silver, because once you pour it, boy howdy does it look exactly alike. I also put a little, I named my blending tools because, again, once you pour it, the color looks exactly alike. Now I've got my gold. Give it a really good shake. Open it up, and you don't need a lot. A little bit goes, okay, that's more than enough. A little bit goes a long way, and you can always add more. Ooh, I don't want to get it all over me. So I've got a little bit in my palette. Now I'm going to find my gold, and I'm going to come in here and pick it up. I can always add more. And then I'm going to start. I just want you to see the color of it. You got to give it a minute to dry. In fact, maybe I'll add just a little bit more. So, I love the little end cap for it. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry, but oh, see, you can start to see it. As it's drying, this gold is starting to appear. and it's beautiful. Not like a little pretty, like it's gorgeous, beautiful. But it's black ink. But is it black ink? I don't know if it's black ink because you've got that beautiful gold coming through. I need to do them side by side. So I'm going to put this one over to the side because I need to do them side by side so you can see them. Let me try and do it here. This time I'll only use half of my paper. A little bit more. So this time I'll use half my paper because then I have to do the silver. See, it goes down so black. When I first got it, I thought, oh, this is a fabulous black ink. But then it started to dry and I'm like, oh my gosh, where did that gold come from? All right, I think that's good. And again, as it dries, you can see just this layer of gold start to shine. It's not blingy and it's, I don't even know that it's shimmery. It's just beautiful. So let's take the silver. A little bit in my silver. And let's grab my silver bouncer. And it starts to dry immediately. And again, it's got this sheen that comes up. So you can see the silver and the gold. Oh, is that dreamy? This ink is beautiful. I think they use it mostly for calligraphy maybe, but oh, I have ideas on what to do with this. So this is where we're going to start today. I'm gonna play with this, I think, first, and then we're going to move on. But it is truly wonderful. It's so pretty. All right, so let's grab an embossing folder. 3D embossing folder, like I said, there's 4 of them to make up the I Want It All bundle. There are some available open stock, not a huge amount. I feel guilty opening this up because it means one less that we have for somebody. Okay, so you've got the 3D embossing folder. You have a stencil and you have a die. Typically with a cut and emboss folder, the manufacturers have always glued the die into the embossing folder, and this is how it was sold. So it would cut and emboss at the exact same time. It was wonderful when the die didn't pop out because they were gluing the die in place or trying to embed it when the embossing folder is in the mold, which is very difficult to do, and truly most of the time the die would just kind of pop out. So now they've taken it and given you an embossing folder on its own. They've given you the die to go with it, and they've given you a stencil to play with as well. So you could cover up your embossing and stencil, or you can use that to make sure you have proper placement if you're going to die cut second. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna die cut. No, they want the proper, if you die cut first. I die cut second. So I'll show you. But to start with, I'm just going to do some embossing. I don't even know that we're going to play with the stencil today. I've got so many other things that I want to show you. So I'm going to cut up some paper. And I'm using 110-pound Stacey paper. This is my paper, Stacey Park paper. And put my paper in. Crafter's Companion is there. I'm going to move this just a little bit out of my way. And clean that up because I did make, there we go. I dropped a drop. All right, I'm going to bring over my Big Shot machine. So I'm using my Sizzix Big Shot machine, and with the Sizzix Big Shot machine, it does show you how to do a 3D embossing folder. But they're talking about a Sizzix 3D embossing folder, not a Crafter's Companion 3D embossing folder or a Memory Box 3D embossing folder or anybody else's 3D embossing folder. So the sandwich that we have may not work. The sandwich that they say to do for a 3D embossing folder would be your plate, your embossing folder, do not cut plate or a cut plate over the top, and send it on through. The only problem is this is too loose. There's not enough pressure to actually make the embossing. I got nothing there. So you're gonna have to, with everybody's embossing folders, kind of play with the sandwich to find out what's going to work. With these cut and emboss folders from Crafter's Companion, what worked is using my solo shim, then my embossing folder with my chomp chomp side in. I always feed it with the open side in first. Everybody does it a little differently. That's how I do it. And then a cut plate, a do not cut plate. You just need a clear plate that comes with your machine to go over the top, and then you send it through. It'll be a little bit of a push to get it going, but once it goes, it's good. And you can go backwards and forwards. It's up to you. It doesn't make much of a difference. But this is what I'm going to get. Look at how beautiful is this. Now I'm going to do this a second time because embossing folders have two sides. There's a front and a back. And sometimes you love the front more than you love the back, and sometimes you love the back more than you love the front. But I want you to see both, and I can't do it unless I have both unless I roll it through twice, so I have both of them to hold up side by side for you. Okay, so now I've got apples to apples. See, this is now dried and it's gorgeous. 2 inks, amazing. So now I have got apples to apples, the exact same image, twice, only when I use it, I'm gonna do some on the front and some on the back. With an embossing folder, you always have an emboss side. That's the side that is poking out towards you. That's the lifted up side, the raised side is embossed. But to get an embossed side, you also must have a debossed side. This is the side where the image is depressed into. To get an emboss, you gotta have a deboss. And sometimes the deboss side looks as good, if not better, than the emboss side. So we're gonna play with this one for just a minute. And I am gonna use my inks. So I'm gonna bring the gold over. And then I'm going to put some in my little palette. And again, you can paint with it. You can use your foam brush with it. You can, yes, you can stamp with it as well. This ink will stamp. Absolutely. Maybe I'll stamp up we've got some Wow Embossing Powder Wow Company stamps on clearance on a really great deal. So I'm going to tap in, and then I'm just going to go right over the top. And as it dries, that gold starts to come up. And you can start to see. I don't know see, I can't tell what my camera sees and what it doesn't. But it's beautiful. I mean, it's really beautiful. Now you may be saying, oh, but Stacey, you got it in the middle. I know I did. I'm okay with that. Don't worry, we're gonna fix that. And as that ink dries, that gold becomes more and more prominent. It's a black gold. And the thing is, the ink is dry and none of the gold comes off. It's not like a spray that has a gold mica in it where then you can wipe the mica off. No, no, no. It's there. And it's lovely. So this is side one. Then I have side two. Okay, well, we're gonna go for it. Put a little bit more in. Close it up. I got a little there. We'll see if I'm unhappy with it. If I'm unhappy, I'm going to do it again. And then I come over the top. So then you have to decide, and again, as it dries, the gold starts to shimmer. So you have to decide if you like the debossed or the embossed. They're both lovely. Now I'm going to die cut. You could leave the heart center in there if you wanted. You could come in and cover this up. I could. We could try. I'll do one more. So roll it on through. And I'm going to do that debossed side again. I need a little bit more ink. It is really dark ink. So I want to shake it up, make sure my lid's on really good. And that just mixes that gold throughout the entire bottle of this ink. And I was shocked that it did not wipe off on my hands. I was so expecting to go, ha, look, and it didn't. I was like, ah. Okay, so gold. Dip in. And I just want my little blending tool just to hit the tops. That's all I'm looking for it to do, is just to hit the tops. And then I could take this, see if it'll work. I think this is meant for an alignment tool for your die. Oh, okay. That wasn't so bad. Get this kind of cleaned off and clean off my mat. And let's see what we've got. Yeah, so as it's drying, that gold is starting to come up. It's so beautiful. And you can see it in all the little areas. So beautiful. So I've got one where I use the stencil to color in. One where I've got my gold. Oh, see, and the more it dries, the more the gold comes up. Just don't know if I can get a good look at that. Isn't that pretty? I've got one where I've got the outside, but I don't want the inside. And then I've got the other where I did the front of the embossing folder. And with the heart. So I'm going to leave this one the way it is because I stenciled in there. I'm going to leave that there. I don't want to cut that out. But I have the die to cut these out. Now this is where everybody's like, oh, I would cut out first and emboss second. I do not. It doesn't smush down the embossing enough for me to notice and make a difference. For me, for you, it may be different. You may want to do your die cut first and then try to line up your paper with the die cut to your embossing folder. I leave it up to you, to whatever works best for you. So I'm going to bring over my machine, and now I'm die cutting. So I'm not embossing anymore, I'm die cutting, and I'm die cutting a wafer die. See how wafer thin it is? So it's a chemically etched die, that's what it's known for, but it's often called a wafer die because it's so thin. So to do that, I follow the directions that are on my Big Shot machine, and it says I need my base platform, and it says I need my solo shim, and it says I need a cut plate right here, and it says put my paper down, which I am, and then line up my die wherever I want it, which I'm doing. And then put my top plate, my do not cut plate. No matter what color your plate is, whether it be clear or you've got a ruby red glitter one that we'd sold years ago, or you've got a colored one, you always want to try to keep one plate from getting cuts in it, because it doesn't warp the plate and it allows you to sail your dies through a little bit easier without having both plates warped. Now, eventually, everything's going to warp. The plates are absolutely going to warp. Every time I cut into one of my cut plates, it's going to warp. You can flip it backwards, you can flip it forwards. This originally started out as crystal clear. When this is too far gone and it cracks and it breaks, then I might take this cut plate, because by that time, well, it'll be maybe used and maybe I cut into it a few times. I'll make that my new cut plate and grab a brand new plate and put that one on top. It just makes life a lot easier when you're sending dies through. So here, now I've cut out my heart. So let's do this one. We'll get them both done. Now this is the debossed side. My die is not going to line up with it, because my die is meant to go with the embossed side. So when you die cut, you're just going to flip it over and die cut as if you were die cutting out the embossed side. When I take it out, I'll have the same cut, but you're never going to be able to line your die up on the back side of your embossing folder, because it's not made to go that way. If I did line it up, the ridges of the die would be facing me, and I need those ridges to be against the paper to allow for that cut. So I'm just going to flip this over and line it up. And send it through. And there we go. Now, I want to cut away all the noise. So all the extra stuff around that I don't want to see, that I don't want on my finished project, I'm going to cut away. Now, in reality, if I wasn't teaching you, I would have only done one of these, and I would have inked both sides, and then I would have selected which side I wanted to see on my finished project. But for you to be able to see the difference, I needed to do them side by side so you could see them. Otherwise, I'm flipping and you never see the two sides at the same time. See, even that heart, I just don't know how to get the color. So you can see, look at the gold in there. It's just fabulous. It's magic is what it is. So there's 2. And 3. So now you have to decide, do you like the embossed side inked up? Do you like the debossed side inked up? Or do you like the debossed side with the center stenciled? I think if I would have stenciled this center, it would have just been too dark. This is already dark enough. I think that it needed to be on the deboss side so that black heart with the gold really stood out and just shined. So let's do something with them. Let's take and let's grab maybe this and is that a pink? Oh, it's a super soft pink. That works. Okay. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that one yet, but I think I'm going to do this one. And then this one. And maybe I make one of these narrower, so it's not a 6 or a 5 by 5. I think that's what these are. So maybe I cut this one down. So I've got 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's mount them and let's see what we get done. So I'm going to put this one against black, and I just want a very little border of black around it, and I'm going to leave it in the size that it was meant to be. Now you will do a much better job taping everything down than me. I'm just trying to get it down so we can make something pretty and then move to the next one. Expose my tape. It's double stick tape. Stacey tape, super long, super strong, super affordable. Replaces your tape runners. You're like, what? Yes, it does. Trust me, this will hold beads and glitter and embossing powder and fabric and metal and paper. It takes the place of a tape runner, and it's a lot less expensive. Okay, so that one's down. We'll crop it out. And then I think I'm going to put it on the purple because that's super pretty. Let's crop it out. I know you all would use a trimmer. I freehand. It's never perfect, but it's never not perfect either, because I made it. And that makes it perfect, because anything handmade is made out of love. All right, so there's my first one. Let's get this one down. Now this one I altered the size and made it more like an A2 card. Undo my sticky. Layer it down. And do I want to put this against black? Do I want to put it against white? Oh, it's very pretty against the black. And oh, I didn't center that well at all. There we go. So I've got these two done, and then I've got this one. Maybe a brighter pink? Or a red? All right. So bing, bang, boom. Using that beautiful traditional Chinese ink. And these cut and emboss 3D folders that aren't really cut and they are, but they aren't. They give you options by keeping that. By keeping the die separate from the embossing folder, it gives you the option to decide whether you want to cut the center out or you don't, because, you know, sometimes you feel like a nut and sometimes you don't. So 1, 2, 3, and I think I'm going to mat this one on white. First time I saw this ink, I was like, oh my gosh, and you get so much and you use so little of it. And it just adds this elegance to everything because it's got this undertone of color, of this metallic that isn't like anything else out there. It's not an interference. Because it doesn't look good on dark colors. It needs to be on lighter colors. It looks much better on lighter colors. So it's not an interference ink. It's not an ink that has mica that is going to... It doesn't wipe off. And it dried instantaneously. Look at the color. Love it. Love it. It reminds me of... Was it Stardust Jelly Roll pins? that had a dark color and then it had a silver or a gold built into it. This is just lovely. So with this one, I'm definitely going to have to use an embossing powder or white ink because I've stenciled the center black with the gold. Gold would be pretty. Emboss it with that polished gold embossing powder from Wow. Oh yeah, that would be beautiful. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. But this also then would have to be embossed with an embossing powder or inked in white, unless it doesn't. What if I took my purple paper again, and I took my die, and I cut out just the center? What if that's all I want to cut out is just that center? Doesn't matter where it goes on my paper as long as it's on my paper, because I'm working with cardstock, so I can cut anywhere I want. It's an open frame die, which means it's a super easy die to cut. You don't need a precision base plate or anything like that to make it work. And now what we had been throwing away, now we're gonna piece back into place. And I hear you saying, but then why didn't you just back it in the purple, Stacey, like you did with the pink? Well, I could have, but that put my pink as my first mat and my black as my second. This one, I wanted a black mat as my first and my purple as my second. So I didn't want to give up that black mat, but that's what it left me with. So all I had to do was die cut out of the same purple, and now I've got my black mat, but I've got my purple center, so I can stamp with black ink or any ink I want to. Oh, I could have taken a pattern paper and put it in here instead. I could have taken a glitter paper and put it in here instead. I could have. A million different things you could do, because you've got the die and the embossing folder. You've got it all. And the stencil. So because this is the back side of my embossing folder, my die I need to make sure that I put it the right way down, put my tape on the right side. One embossing folder. So many options because they kept everything separate. I love it when you have options. That's the name of the game when you're in crafting, when you're being creative, when you're doing a hobby. What options? Okay, what can I do today with this? Now, what can I do tomorrow with it? How can I make it more than what it was supposed to be? That's where you get all the value and all the savings in your... that one's a little off. Now it looks like that purple was there from the get-go, but how could it be? It's not possible because I've got a black mat around it. And it's all done with this beautiful Chinese ink that has this magnificent sheen to it of this golden glimmer. It's not glitter and it's not shimmer. It's just glimmer is what it is. And it's elegant and it looks like an etching. And now I'm still gonna have to stamp with this one in something else because this I used the stencil for. But now you know what you can do. I could have stenciled this in red. I could have stenciled it in anything I wanted because that stencil covers up the main portion of the die. So let's see, I think I'm not supposed to open these. Maybe we'll just play with happy today. I've got stamps from Wow. They retail for like $8, $8.99, and we've got them for like $3.99. I bought the last that they had. So thank you, love, and happy. And the happy is happy birthday, happy anniversary, wedding, happy wedding day, to the happy couple, happy ever after, you make me so happy. Then you've got love, you make me so happy, love with all my heart, sending love, love and hugs, love you more each day, love forever and ever. And then thank you, sending you a hug for all you do, you're the best, thank you, it means so much, you're amazing. And then the last stamp I think retailed for $11.99, and we've got it for $4.99 from Wow. And it's got the little frame that all of the sentiments fit right into that little frame. So happy birthday, sending smiles, thinking of you, make a wish, hello lovely, just a note. That year looks good on you. It's your day, sparkle. Have the happiest day, thanks for being you. Have the best day ever. So these are just like the embossing folders. When they're gone, but we put them on a deep discount so that you could add them if you want. And I think I'm just gonna play with happy today. Do I have happy down here? I hate to open it up, because that means we have one less for somebody. I got thank you. I got thank you here. I have love. Oh, I have happy. No, that's that one. I was so excited there for a minute. So maybe we play with thank you, because I don't want to open these up if I don't have to. Wait, one more. Okay, I've got the ones the SMS girls used. So there, I'll do happy. And I'm just going to use a block real quick. I'm not going to grab out my stamp and stencil tool, my stencil and stamp tool. I'm just going to use a block. And some black ink. Okay, there's my happy. And what do I want to be happy about? Happy anniversary. Okay, happy anniversary. One done. Now we'll do happy. And not, we'll do to the, which comes with happy, to the. To the, happy, and somewhere in here is couple. So for $3.99, they're really nice stamp sets, and they're made really well. Again, they're made by Wow, and they just are a quality product, and we were lucky enough to be able to pick them up and bring them to you for a wonderful price. To the happy couple. All right, so we've already made 3 cards. Look at us go. Bing, bang, boom. I'll keep the other stamps out because these are the ones the SMS girls use, so I can use those. Bing, bang, boom. And again, I'm going to be using this ink next week as well, but we are seriously limited on how much we have. And it goes a really long way. And it's water soluble. You can clean it up. It doesn't get all over your hands, but the shimmer and the color is amazing. And you can stamp with it. I should do that just so you can see. You can stamp with it. So let's take the silver. Open my little lid. I love that it comes with that. Put it in my silver side. Come on, bubble. My little bubble dripped. And then silver. Happy. Happy. And when it dries, it has this metallic-y silver to it. Look at that. Is that it's not, it's black, but is it black? It is, but it isn't. Oh, maybe I'll do the other ones in this ink. That looks, it shimmers. It's beautiful. Oh my gosh, and it stamps like a dream, and it's dry. Hello, that works for me. All right, so I'm gonna keep, maybe I'll keep my hello, and then clean, clean, clean. And done. All right, let's move on. So I'm gonna grab another embossing folder, and this time we're gonna play with my Stacey Park inks. And maybe I'll try this one. And again, you've got the embossing folder, the stencil, and the die. So let's run this one through. I'll do this one twice. Let's put this all over. At least let me put it back in its right full package. There. So let's take this one off, and we'll put this on my gotcha tool. And I'll slide this right back on in, and I don't think I'm going to use the stencil, so I'm going to slide the stencil back in so I don't lose it. And I'm going to take my paper, and let's cut it in half. Now again, I'm going to do the exact same thing twice. if I was doing this for me, I would only do it once and then decide which side I like the best. But so that you can see both sides at the same time, I'm going to do it twice. So what colors do we like? Let's go with my squash. And I do both sides. And I really want to get in and make sure I get all the nooks and crannies, because this has got a lot of detail to it. Okay, then let's add some of my papaya salad. And this I'm just going to hit just a little bit. And then maybe some passion fruit delight. Because why not? Remember, it's only white paper. We're going to see what we get. I'm going to put my paper in. Close it up. Bring over my Big Shot machine. Remember that I only need one cutting plate to send this through, but I do need my solo shim. If I tried to send it through like I would a typical Sizzix 3D embossing folder, it is not thick enough. So I had to add a little something to make it a little thicker. The first getting over that hump is the hardest part, but once you get rolling, you get rolling. And it is a little tight. Am I gonna try and send this back? There we go. So now what I'm doing is transferring the ink off the embossing folder and onto my paper. But I have two sides. And see, this is why we're gonna do it again. We're gonna do it one more time, because maybe even 3 times, just to be sure. You're like 3 times. Well, that way I can show you all 3 side by side by side. I'll be fast. Like, really? Really, I'll be fast. Okay. Ink, 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 ink. Ink, 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 ink. See, this is fast. Piece of paper. And see that piece of paper in my... Where did you come from? And then a little bit of the pink. So I do not pre-prep. Yes, it would be easy to have everything ready to go, but then I don't think you learn as much. In, close, bring over. Now, no two are ever going to be the same because they're inked differently. I might have a little more orange in this one or a little more pink in this one. Send it on through. Bring it on back. And you don't have to bring it back if you don't want to. Okay, so now I've got 2 like this and 2 like that. Now let's do our very last one. And this time I'll do yellow, yellow, yellow. And maybe this time I'll do the pink next. And then a little bit of my papaya salad. And let's roll this one. And that'll give me 3 to play with. Do you need all 3, Stacey? Yes, yes I do. There we go. All right, take a baby wipe. Your embossing folder cleans up easy peasy. And you are good to go. So we have 3 to play with. So front side, back side. So you can see debossed, embossed. Now, I think I'll start with my debossed. And I'm going to take some of my zesty lime. And remember, this is my debossed side, so the image is depressed in. And because the ink is below, the top of the paper, it's debossed in. When I run my ink over the top of it, it doesn't get into those nooks and crannies. It can't go down. It just sails across the top and only hits the top of my paper, not where it's debossed. And maybe you're saying, yes, but then you have that center. What are you going to do with it? Well, gosh, I have a die. That's going to let me cut that center right out. So So maybe you don't like the center the way it is. Remember, I have to turn it over to the emboss side. Oh yeah, that's okay, Stacey. I did both sides on all of them. I almost lost my, I'm like, oh my gosh, what did I do? So let's just fit it on in there. You can certainly tape it into place if you want to. It just kind of fits in the little nook and cranny of it all. I just kind of go with it and let it be, and so I have this side, or I have this side. Let's get rid of some of the noise. So this side or that side. So here I've got the embossed side, the raised side, the debossed side. This time maybe I take a little bit of, my yellow. And I just hit the, now I'm hitting the tops. But I still don't like the center. Okay. Have it kind of click into place. Get rid of some of the noise. Now I've got an embossed without being inked on top of. I have a debossed with the green ink on top to add my background to it. I have an embossed with extra ink over the top to highlight out. I've got a deboss with nothing extra done to it, but I could I'm taking my brown, so now I've got a deboss in the brown, I've got a deboss in the green, I've got an emboss with additional ink, I've got an emboss without additional ink, and I still have this third one I could do something with. So I'm inking the deboss side. And then I could die cut out the center of this one. Look at all the different things you can do, all the different ways and how it changes. It changes the look depending on the ink you use or if you're doing a deboss or an emboss. They're beautiful. All of them are beautiful. And because the die is separate, you have options. See, I love the deboss side as much as I love the emboss side. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And doing that reversed coloring, I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. That's so pretty. That works for me. So I know I'm having to give up something. I gotta cover one side. One side's gotta go face down against the paper. So that's why you ink both sides and then you pick. But isn't it nice to have the option? Oh, I'm too big for that. Oh, I think that's just lovely. So do we like the deboss side? Do we like the emboss side? Or are you just thrilled to know that you can do either or at any time? It changes the look of the embossing folder depending on what side you're doing. It completely changes the look of what you're doing. Not that one is better than the other, they're just different. I'm just trimming this down. I want to be able to get it onto this one. If I do that, can I get it onto this one too? Yes, I think I can. So now I'm just going to do the reverse. So I'm covering up this backside. I love the backside, but well, you gotta give up something to get something. Come on. Okay, let's trim this on out, and then we're going to move on because we're not done yet. Okay, that looks good. And I'm going to take the craft and mat it in the craft, and then we have in the reverse. Do I want a tiny bit of craft, or do I want... So the folders are simply wonderful. Being that you can do this, or you can do that, or you can do something else. They're not a one and done. They're oh, today I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use it this way, and next week I'm going to do something completely different with it. And these two don't look the same. They don't. They don't look the same, and yet it's out of the same tool, because that's what an embossing folder is. An embossing folder, a die, a stamp, a stencil. It's a tool because you use it forever and ever. As long as you take care of it, they never go bad. They never get old. They never dry out. Nope, I cut it too narrow. I'll have to go narrow. Yep, way too narrow. All right. Cut it a little on the narrow side, but that's okay. So now I have the reverse, and I did them in 2 different sizes. So we've done 1, 2. Thought we did another. Oh, 3, 4, 5. Now I might come back and stamp these, but we need to move on. So time for another embossing folder. Another embossing folder means another technique. I think I'll use this one. And I'm not going to use the stencil, and I'm not going to use the die either. I'm just going to use the embossing folder. So let's get some paper. I'm going to leave that center in there. And let's get some color on here. Now I'm really inking it up because inside the die, or inside the embossing folder, there's detail to all those flowers. So I want to make sure that I get that. Okay, now let's do a little purple. This is dye-based ink. So my inks from Jacquard are water reactive, highly saturated. They stay wet long enough to be embossed, and yet they don't make mud. They blend like a dream. Okay, let's see what happens. And we're gonna do it at least twice. Close it up. I only need one cut plate, but I do need my solo shim to go through. And away we go. So far we're starting out just like we did the last. Getting some ink on some paper using our embossing folder. Okay. Super pretty. Let's do a wash, rinse, and repeat. I think that's pretty good. We're gonna go for it. Close it up. Send it on through. Roll, 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 roll. And then up to you if you want to come back, back, back. So now we've got two fronts, two backs. Take my embossing folder and let's wipe it off. The ink won't dry to it because it's a dye-based ink. So you have to use a dye-based ink to do this technique. You can't use something like a StazOn or an archival because you're going to ink it up and it's going to stick to the plastic because that's what that ink is meant to do. And I'm not going to use the dye. But you're like, Stacey, it's a mess in the middle. I don't want a mess in the middle. All right, let's get rid of the mess. I've got my Fusion watercolor brushes. I actually have maybe I'll use a round and not a flat. So these are by Yasutomo as well. They are beautiful watercolor brushes. They do the job lovely. They really do, and they're affordable, which is a big thing. Brushes can be very expensive. You can get one watercolor brush, one flat this size, that can be $30, $40, $50. Now it's a different material. The brush is made out of a different material than this. These are Fusion brushes from Yasutomo, and they're meant to do an excellent job for a reasonable price. Are they a professional grade watercolor brush? No, but I love them and they work and they're beautiful and they're affordable. So I'm gonna grab a little bit of, I'm gonna put some water in my palette. There we go. And I'm going to take, and because my ink is water reactive, I'm going to watercolor my center. Did you see what happened when I added a little bit of water? Look at that. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to watercolor my center. Because maybe I don't want to die cut it out. Maybe I want it to have this very watercolory, ethereal type look to it. And I'm just going straight up to the edges and then pulling that ink, because it's not paint, and then I need it to dry. Now this one doesn't have as much. So I'm going to have to work it a little bit faster because I don't have as much color to play with. And I just have to take it to the edge. Can I add color if I want to? Sure, all I have to do is add some water to my ink. And I can come in here and add more color if I want to. I just kind of want it to have that watercolory look to it. Look at that one. Isn't that beautiful? So let those dry for a minute. Now I could come in and I could make this really watercolory. Maybe I do that on this one and I leave this one here because I kind of like the way that looks. I could come in and with my water, just my water, every place I've added a little bit of extra ink over the top, see all these little places I've added a little extra ink? I could come in with my water and just touch. Just touch with my water, making it an instant watercolor. Now I'm just touching that ink. Remember, I went over the top of it with my ink pad. I don't need to add any more. All I have to do is take a little bit of water and touch my petals. And start painting in my flowers. And maybe I don't do all the flowers. And I'm not trying to be careful because I want it to have that organic watercolory look to it. Maybe I just do some of the flowers. To add that very watercolory look to it. I have options. Ooh, I want to make sure that that doesn't run. Look at how pretty that's going to be. How pretty that's going to be. So let's dry it real quick so I can play with it. I even like the little frame around it that I got, but I didn't get across the top. If I did, I'd leave that little frame right where it is. So here, I'm not going to die cut the center out at all. I took that extra ink that was left over from putting the ink, adding the ink to my embossing folder. And on this one, I have my negative, and I have my positive, my embossed versus my debossed, but all three of them done with a watercolor. That's going to be too... This might be too green of a yellow. Yes, that's too green of a yellow. And this may be too yellow of a yellow. Oh, that's super pretty. That's good for that one. Well, I definitely like the purple. Let's mat these two. So I could. I still have that back side. You're like, but you were done, Stacey. Well, I know. But see, I could come in. And just with some water, change the entire look. So if you don't have a die cutting machine, this is an excellent reason to get one, to be able to do embossing folders like this. So pretty. Well, now I'm not sure which side I like better. No, it's definitely this side. What did I do with my napkin? My paper towel. Definitely this side. So let's dry that one off. Let's put this down on the purple because it just looks beautiful on that purple. Yep, it's definitely that side. You never know until you try, and you do have two sides, right? All right, so now we've watercolored. We kept our center, and we just used the excess ink that was left over to watercolor. And I think I like this one on here, although this wasn't meant to be on here, but that's very pretty. Oh, but that side's beautiful too. Oh, decisions, decisions. Okay, I'm not going to do this one because I can't decide. I'm just going to leave it and we're going to move on because I can't decide what I like. Nope, not the right color on that one. Definitely not. But that one's very pretty. And then maybe I cut this one down just a little bit. So front, back, you choose. Die cut, don't die cut. Ink, don't ink. Watercolor, don't watercolor. It's all up to you. And they've made it ever so convenient by keeping the embossing folder, the stencil, and the die all separate. And again, I don't know how many of these are out there in the world. I know it was a small run There was very few shipped here to the United States. Very, very, very few shipped here to the United States. So I'm not sure if your local independent retailer has them or not. They might, but I can't be certain. All right, we got to move on, Stacey. You got one more to do. Okay, that's very pretty, and that'll be beautiful once I stamp a sentiment on the inside. That'll be absolutely gorgeous. You'll do a better job taping down. I know my freehanding causes some of you to hold your breath. But it's all good. Stamp a sentiment and call it done. I think this one's absolutely gorgeous. All right, so now we have done watercoloring with them. We've done inking front and back with them. We've done the Chinese ink that has that beautiful gold or silver finish with them. What can be left? One last thing. And let me get a baby wipe and wipe down my space and clean my brush. So these are Jacquard inks. They're my brand, Stacey Park by Jacquard. And again, they're highly saturated, water soluble, so water reactive. They blend like a dream. They'll stay wet long enough for you to use embossing powder with. They don't make mud, is I guess the most important thing. All right, last embossing folder. Pull the die so I have it. When I didn't get to see these before I had to order them. So when I ordered them, I did not know that the die was separate from the embossing folder. When they got here, I was so excited. It was like, well done, you, well done. Take blue raspberry and see what blue or maybe we'll take yellow and then blue raspberry. Okay, now let's put some blue raspberry on here and see what we get. Paper in, and I'll know whether I need to change where I'm inking or how I'm inking once I run this through. Remember, it's only white paper. That's all we're using is white paper. So if it has too much of one color and not enough of another, or you put your colors in the wrong place, forgive yourself. Finish your card and then do it again. I guarantee you, once you finish it, it's going to look lovely and everybody's going to think it's stunning. Oh, that's lovely. I love this side better. Maybe I just go with the blue, although I love this. I think this is beautiful. But maybe I do just go with blue. I'm just adding a slightly darker blue. Now let's see what we get. There we go. I don't think I'm straight. I think I'm off center. So I think my plates are not straight. Yep. That's what happens when you don't have your plates straight. They're slightly off center. It's going to be a chore to get it through. Oh, this is so pretty. Oh, I just want to watercolor this. I do. This is so pretty. All right, so I have two. I think I like them in just the blue. But I've got this one. I've got these done. I'll do one more in just the blue, and that way, if I decide I don't like the yellowy one, I've got two in blue. I started with blue raspberry. And then came in with my blueberry pie. Now let's put our plates in straight. So if you put your plates in slightly crooked, it's gonna, well, you can see what I've done to my poor, plate, my poor solo shim. I mean, I've chewed it up like no tomorrow on the sides. It still works, so I'm not, and you can't buy just a solo shim. So I'm not getting rid of mine. Kevin, the keeper of the secret sauce, says take a scissors and just kind of give it a haircut a little bit on the side. Kevin from Sizzix, keeper of the secret sauce, says you just kind of come in and kind of give it a little bit of a haircut just to get off all the little pieces. And it's still good, it still works. Oh, oh, love, love, love. Okay, what are we gonna do to them? Well, let's take a little bit of our ink, our Chinese ink, and let's add it in. Clean up my space. Bring over my Chinese ink, and this time maybe I'll use the silver. So silver's there, so let's shake, shake, shake. I would rather add more than pour too much. And as it dries, that metallic look, that silver metallic starts to come up. So there's one side. Okay, you're dry. Ooh. And there's the other side. And as it dries, that metallic is coming up and it's beautiful. But I don't know which side I like better, which is why we did 2, 3. My little dish. My little pour. my back side. Looking lovely. Wouldn't that be nice? Mr. SMS thinks my backside looks lovely. Oh, I'm not 22 anymore, that's for sure. A little more lumpy and bumpy than I used to be, but hey. The front side. And then I think I'm going to do the last one in the gold, because I did it with some yellow. And then we're going to die cut. So bring over my gold. You gotta hear, there you go, you gotta hear that little ball shake, shake, shake. And just lightly go all the way around. Now I'm going to cut out the center. So there's one side. And now instead of just being plain white in the center, I've got my color in the center. With this beautiful gold accenting everything. So lovely. Oh, so pretty. It just winks at you. It is so cool. It even looks good like that. It's so cool. See, and then I get into trouble because I don't know which side I like better. But let's die cut everything because maybe that will help. Okay, how many different things have we done today? Oh, nope, that's the debossed. Got to be on the emboss side or it's not gonna, you're never gonna line it up. Roll, roll, roll. Back, back, back. Done. Oh, dreamy. Yes, please sign me up to do this all day long. Well, all night long because it's late. You don't want to know what time it is. By the time I get home, it'll be almost time to wake up to live chat with y'all. This might be a 2 coffee live chat. Roll, roll, roll. my gosh, they're gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. If I say so myself. You may not agree. I'm okay with that. Not everything is for everybody, but this absolutely makes my heart happy. I love the ink. I love the embossing folders. I love all the different things you can do with them. I love that you can change your mind and flip the embossing folder over and you've got a whole different look. I know my plates are not straight. I don't know if I went all the way. Yeah, there we go. And this ink, I have never heard of Chinese ink before. I am sure that in the art market or the calligraphy market, it is a thing. But I didn't know you could stamp. I mean, do you see it's got a shimmer to it in the silver? Wait till you see what I do with it next week, which is totally different than what we're doing with it this week. Completely different. It will, if this didn't make you go, like mind blown, next week, holy smokes, artichokes. So we're gonna do it even if we don't have any left, but I think we'll have some left. They don't have a lot, but I think we'll have it left. I hope. Well, you know what? It is what it is. I don't know, which side do you like better? Are you more distressed? Well, don't be distressed over this. There's no reason to be distressed over crafting. But it's got this shimmer and shine to it. Same embossing folder. Totally different look. Oh, can you see that? I just can't tell if my camera can pick it up or not, because I'm literally, I have a little, it's about a 2" by 2" little screen that I get to see. I don't have a computer next to me so I can see what a big image looks like. Nope, it's just you and me. Okay, love those. And then I did this one in the, oh, in the gold with the yellow. Oh, it just accents that gold and the yellow together beautifully. So we started with the Chinese ink and we ended with the Chinese ink. And I don't know what's in it. It is a fine art type product. I believe it's used in calligraphy quite a bit. It is used in painting on rice papers quite a bit. But when I saw it, I said, oh, I have other ideas. Boy, did I say, oh, this is so pretty. So when you hit it, see the black has got that little hint of gold going through it that then picks up the yellow everywhere else. Or do we like the back side? This is so hard to choose, so hard to decide. I think that might be too dark. That's gorgeous. That looks great. I just need something for this one. Decisions, decisions. Okay. I'm good with those. I'm going to mat these and then we're going to call it done. Because we did a lot. We've played with all 4 embossing folders. We have inked. We have, oh gosh. Is that the side or is that the side? No, that's the side. Okay. I really struggle because I love them both. It's like double-sided paper. But you got to give up something to get something, so. And it's only white paper, and I can make more. I have more white paper. I think sometimes I forget that I have oodles of white paper. We all have lots of white paper. And white paper, if you don't have any, it's the easiest thing to get your hands on. Now, a nice heavy white paper is always better. You don't want to use anything too thin. So a minimum of 80 pounds, a minimum of 80 pounds for cardstock. Please don't go get the 65-pound cardstock. You will not be happy. A minimum of 80 pounds. And my cardstock is 110 pounds because the heavier it is, the better. Okay, this is just yay. I could do these all day long, but look at the time. Actually, I have no idea how long the class is. Okay, there's one. Oh yeah, definitely this side. See, I knew that one. Don't forget, we've got a warehouse sale going on. Week 2 starts on Monday, and we add more manufacturers and more product to the warehouse sale. So there's 2. Now I'm going to want to double mat these, but I'll do that after the fact. I very rarely single mat anything. Matting is the easiest way to add dimension and just detail. And then the last one. Nope, I have to go with what I started because I flip it over and I'm like, oh, maybe I like that side better. Like, no, go with what you started, Stacey. Stick with your gut. Your first instincts are usually your correct instincts. Yes, this is beautiful. Okay, so we did all 4 embossing folders today. Let's start at the very beginning. So in the beginning, we used the beautiful Chinese ink that has the gold and the silver running through it. And we just did it on white paper. And somewhere in here, we even used the stencil. Let's see. No. Oh, here it is. 1, 2. Did we do this one? So we did 3. Beautiful, right? Absolutely gorgeous. And it's got that beautiful Chinese ink over the top, but we just ran it through white paper. So here's the embossed side, And these two are done in a debossed side. Then we moved into using the ink and the embossing folders and just sending them through. Just sending them through with ink, and this is the deboss side, and I added brown ink to it, and this is the emboss side. And then we did watercoloring. So we didn't get rid of the inside at all. We kept it and we watercolored it, ready to be stamped. I'm ready to put a thank you stamp in there. I'm ready to finish it out and put a beautiful stamp in there. But because the ink is the way the ink is, my ink will let you move it with water. So you've got this beautiful watercolory look. And then we took the ink and I literally went right over. There. I went right over the top and added some water to the ink that was already existing and just kind of watercolored these in. And that's the paper I'm going to mat this with when we're all done. And then we took ink and the Chinese ink to give a little bit of sheen to it, a little bit of flair to it. So we've got the ink plus we've got the beautiful hint of gold and silver coming through that black ink as you turn it. It's not like gonna hit you in the face. It's like as it catches the light is when that shimmer comes up. It's so subtle, but so beautiful. And it's not this deep, stark black. It looks like that when you put it on, but when it dries to this beautiful color. So lots of things that we did today, absolutely. Oh, maybe the girls did a blue sample. Huh. Oh, I think I did this one, and I think one of the girls did a blue one similar to it. I think we all had the same idea. We did. Somebody did a thank you. See? Great minds think alike. All right, so what do we have for sale? Well, we have the embossing folders. We have a few open stock. We don't have a huge every one of them's open stock, but I don't have a huge quantity of any of them in open stock. The majority of them are in the I Want It All bundle where you get all 4. And when they're gone, they're gone. These are not being redone. I can't reorder them. I can't ever get them again. When they're gone, they're gone. And you get the die, you get the embossing folder, and you get the stencil. So we've got that on sale. I've got a smoking hot price on Wow Stamps. The happy, so happy birthday, happy anniversary, happy wedding day, to the happy couple, happy ever after, you make me so happy. Retails for I think $8.40, and I think we have them for $3.99. Love, you make me so happy with all my heart, sending love and hugs. Love you more each day, always, love always and forever. Thank you. Sending you a hug. Thank you for all you do. Thank you. You're the best. It means so much. Thank you. Thank you. You're amazing. And then the larger one that has happy birthday, thinking of you. Hello, lovely. That year looks good on you. It's your day. Sparkle to the happy, or have the happiest day. Thanks for being you. Have the best day ever. Sending smiles. Make a wish. Just a note. And they all fit inside the little frame if you want them to. This was $11.50, and I think we have it for $4.99. So there is not an I Want It All bundle for these because we only have what we have, and when they're gone, they're gone. Can't ever get them again. Seems to be the theme these days. Now the inks The inks we have in open stock and as a bundle of 2. And while we can get them again once we sell out, it will not be until October at the earliest. So, a lot of ink in here. I mean, these are going to last you a very long time. And you saw that I was able to stamp with it easy peasy, and it adds just a little shimmer and shine to your finished stamp, whether you want it in the silvery kind of metallic look or the gold. Really like that. I like that you can stamp with them. Colors are, I don't know if the computer or if my camera gets it or not, but that's how spectacular it is. And next week we're doing something completely and totally different with it. I've got the little palette on sale. I think it's $3.99. We've got all the brushes on sale, so open stock and the kits of the fusion brushes. Get what you need. If you don't have a set already, we have a set of rounds and a set of flats, or you just buy the sizes that you like. I love my fusion brushes. Oh, and my inks. So all of my inks are on sale. They're all open stock. We did not do an I want it all, but all the inks are on sale for you. So, and the re-inkers. So I think that's enough, right? I think that's more than enough. Let me show you samples. Not that we didn't make enough. Okay, here we go. I know, right? This is the honorary SMS girls. Katie did this one. This is gorgeous, right? I mean, it's absolutely stunning, Katie. Oh my gosh. Oh, and here we have one with the gold ink running through it, and happy wedding day, and just on white paper. And here we have Mary, and Mary went in and colored in with my inks using a little blending brush. And you've got the thank you, sending you a hug. And here we have Patty, and Patty went in there as well and used a little blending brush, and she's got sending love, and she's embossed it. And here we have Catherine. Catherine has inked and sent it through and then come back and inked over the top like we did. Look at how pretty is this. This is Catherine, honorary SMS girl Catherine. And then here we have Mary with happy birthday. And again, she inked the blue, sent it through, and then she came back and added the brown over the top. Beautiful colors, isn't it? Absolutely gorgeous. And they did all of the inking with my inks, with the Stacey Park inks. And you make me so happy. Here we have the debossed side, and this is Katie again. And Katie did like I did with the debossed side. And yeah, you make me so happy. And here we have the best day ever. And Gail just went in there and just inked. So you've got texture, you've got kind of a mixed media feel with this one, and it's just inked. And you make me so happy. Whoop, you make me so happy is Patty. And again, she added the ink to the embossing folder, sent it through. A little yellow, a little bit of the pink. Came back in and did an embossing with You Make Me So Happy. And here is Gail. Gail used reveals on this one. So she sent it through and she sanded it, but then she came back like I did and she paper pieced that center back in. So she had this beautiful center. See, because that paper's not anywhere there. She had to paper piece that back in. Birthday wishes. And she used reveals paper. That's honorary SMS girl Gail. Look at this one, Catherine. Ooh, Catherine used some mirror paper and found a beautiful sheet of paper in the back. Look at how gorgeous is that, Catherine? So these are all the honorary SMS girls. And if you come in on a Wednesday, you will see them. Don't know who did this one, but we've got the blue and the brown into the happy couple. So inked with blue and then hit with the brown over the top to the happy couple. And thank you, you're amazing. This is Catherine and Stacey. Oh, I did this one to show the girls what I wanted them to do, and then Catherine finished it. Well done, you. You made us look like a rock star. So I did the inking, and Catherine came in and finished the card. Catherine and Stacey. Yes, because I sit down and I work with the girls, and I show them what I want, and then I send them on their way, and we get what we get. And everybody interprets it a little differently. Here's Patty. But they laugh so much. It's so good to have them here on Wednesdays. It's just, you just hear giggles, and there's just a whole group of them, and then they order lunch in, and this past week they brought so many treats in, oh my gosh. Here we have Patty again. Patty is my rock star. She is the queen of Get Her Done Simple. And Katie, honorary SMS, Katie doesn't know what that word is, simple. She's like, what did she say? And here we have another. Love the color on this. Look at that. That's all done with inking the embossing folder and sending it through. And then you've got the thank you stamp, and I don't know who made this one, but I do love the color on it. See, I bet this is Katie. It's Catherine! Catherine, did you know what the word simple was either? But she inked it up. She did all that inking on the embossing folder and then came back in with the brown. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful, Catherine. Absolutely stunning. Catherine she's got the bold, vibrant colors down, I'm telling you. And Katie's got the soft, serene. Here's Mary. Love it on the craft paper, Mary, that purple. I didn't know my purple would show up so good on craft. That looks wonderful. Wow, Mary. And here we have, I don't know, but it's lovely. So watercolor in the center, didn't cut anything out. Inked, sent it through, and then with the remaining ink that was in that center, they watercolored. Oh, this is the one I told Patty. Oh no, this is Mary. I told Mary, chop, chop. She was putting each one of these little, can you see these little tiny pearls in the center? I'm like, Mary. She's like, it has to be done. I'm like, okay, it has to be done. It has to be done. All right, Mary, you go, girl. And then another, this is with the gold ink. Oh, no, this is with the silver ink over the top. And then they threw a little bit of another ink over the top. But simple and elegant and beautiful. And then thank you, it means so much. All right, you guys. The last thing I have for you is a layout from Gail. Gail walks in every Wednesday. You need a layout, don't you? I said at least one. At least one, please. So here she's got the embossing folder. She found this beautiful paper to go behind it. She fussy cut out here. She's got her pictures here, and then you make me so happy. This has to be one of the most elegant layouts. This is just soft and beautiful, and I could just see wedding pictures going on here. It's not overdone, it's not too much, it's not too little, it's just the right amount. I love it. All right, you guys. Well, it's me, Stacey. Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Class number, I don't know, 608. It's in the books. Wahoo Kachoo. Now, where are you going to find all of this product? Well, the inks you may be able, my inks you may be able to find at other retailers, absolutely. The fusion brushes you may be able to find at other retailers. White paper you definitely can find at other retailers. So we encourage you to shop if you have a local independent store. We absolutely encourage you to go visit them first. For the Crafter's Companion embossing folders, 3D embossing folders with the dies and the stencils, that might be a little bit more of a challenge to get your hands on. I've got so many, I've got them at a great price, so I leave it up to you. And then the Chinese ink, you won't be, it's lovely. The gold and the silver is lovely. And when I heard that once we're out until October, I went, because I had planned to use it for this week's class and for next week's class, and I'm not going to change that, because if you buy it this week, I want to show you next week what more you can do with it. And just because we can't get it or we're sold out of it, that's not the point. The point is to teach you and hopefully use things you may already have in your crafty stash or something similar to it and give you new ideas on how you can use it. So I leave it up to you, and it's all available here at scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Yes, you can come into our retail store. Local peeps, we have some of this available too. I recommend you call on Monday if there's anything specific you want. Like, we only have 3 bottles of each of these in the retail store right now. That's all I've got is 3 each. That's it for the retail store right now. Maybe next week I'll get a few more, but there's not a lot going around. So, all right. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me. Next time I see you will be Monday for week 2 of the June 2025 ScrapbookingMadeSimple.com warehouse sale. And I've got sneak peeks going out on the next 2 manufacturers being added to the sale. Yes, there's 2. And of course, Sizzix is already out there and already up there, and any product that has not sold out will carry forward. All the product carries forward through the entire month of June. Every Monday we launch new manufacturers and add more product to the warehouse sale. 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and sometimes more than 90% off. All right, you guys, have a good night. I'll see you later. I'll see you Monday. Thanks so much for being here, and have a great weekend. Bye, everybody.